There is a number so feared that some of the most expensive buildings in the world simply pretend it does not exist. Hotels with 40 floors that jump from 12 to 14. Airports where Gate 13 was never built. Skyscrapers in New York, London, and Tokyo where an entire floor was quietly erased from the numbering so that nobody would ever have to press it in an elevator. American buildings lose over $50 billion in usable floor space, floors that physically exist but carry no label, because of a fear so old that nobody alive today can remember when it started. This is not a story about superstition. This is a story about a technology. Because bad luck is not a mistake humans made. Bad luck is something humans built, civilization by civilization, across every culture that ever existed for a reason. And when you understand that reason, it stops looking like ignorance. It starts looking like the most sophisticated thing a frightened brain ever invented. We have a story we tell ourselves about superstition, that it belongs to the uneducated, that smart people outgrew it, that we, with our satellites and MRI machines, are finally, at last, immune to it. If you want to understand why humans do the strange things they do, you are exactly where you belong. CASS Facts is here every week with the stories history doesn't usually bother to explain. Subscribe so you never miss one. Watch our other videos. And drop your name, a topic suggestion in the comments below. We read every single one, but the evidence keeps telling a different story. A more complicated one. A more human one. Start with Tyche. She was the Greek goddess of fortune, one of the most widely worshipped figures in the ancient world. Her name meant luck, chance, and fate simultaneously. She was depicted wearing a blindfold, standing on a spinning wheel. The blindfold was not an insult. It was a description. Fortune does not see you. It does not know your name. It does not care whether you have been good. The wheel spins, and wherever it stops is where you land. The ancient Greeks, who built the Parthenon, invented democracy, laid the foundations of Western philosophy, decided that the most important force in human life was not wisdom, courage, or virtue. It was Tyche, random chance. They built her temples in every major city. The historian Polybius, writing in the 2nd century BCE, used her name to explain everything rational analysis could not account for: droughts, military defeats, the sudden collapse of powerful men. When reason ran out, Tyche remained. The Romans renamed her Fortuna, put her on their coins, and had senators consult her priests before major decisions. She was the answer to the question every human eventually asks: why did this happen to me? But here's where it gets more complicated. The ancients did not just worship luck. They tried to control it. And the systems they built for doing that were not random. Some of them were so precisely constructed that they tell us something remarkable about what bad luck actually is. Take the broken mirror. The Romans believed life renewed itself in 7-year cycles, the body, the soul, the fate of a person, all turning over every 7 years. They also believed a mirror did not merely reflect your face. It captured your soul. When you broke one, you shattered that soul image. It would take until the next renewal. 7 years to heal. 7 years of bad luck was not a story. It was a calculation. Roman mirrors were made of polished silver, extraordinarily expensive. A broken mirror was a loss that could ruin a servant. The supernatural punishment made sure everyone took it seriously. Bad luck, in this case, was not superstition. It was property law with religious teeth. And then there is Friday the 13th, one of the most feared dates in the modern world, about which almost no one knows the actual truth. The popular story that it began on Friday, October 13, 1307, when King Philip IV of France ordered the simultaneous mass arrest of the Knights Templar, imprisoning hundreds and eventually burning Grand Master Jacques de Molay alive in 1314. Is historically real. Philip was in debt to the Templars and manufactured charges of heresy to seize their wealth, one of the most cynical political maneuvers in medieval history. But historians have confirmed this event did not create Friday the 13th. The combination as a single concept of doom did not appear until 1907, when the American novelist Thomas Lawson published a book literally called Friday the 13th. Before Lawson, Friday was unlucky. 13 was unlucky. The fusion was his invention, $5 billion. That is the annual cost to the American economy of Friday the 13th. Lost productivity from people who refused to fly, drive, or sign contracts on that date. $5 billion per year. Based on a novel published in 1907, here's the part nobody talks about. In the early 2000s, psychologist Richard Wiseman at the University of Hertfordshire spent a decade following more than 400 self-identified lucky and unlucky people. What he found demolished the framework entirely. Lucky and unlucky people had access to the same opportunities. The same chances appeared in both of their lives. The difference was what they noticed. Lucky people saw the open door. Unlucky people, their attention narrowed by the constant expectation of bad outcomes, walked straight past it. They were not having worse luck. They were having worse vision. When Wiseman took chronically unlucky people and trained them for 1 month in how lucky people scan their environment and interpret setbacks, 80% reported feeling luckier and happier within for weeks. Nothing in the world had changed. Everything in the looking to adopt bad luck is not what happens to you. Bad luck is what your brain decides to see. Teich was not blind to be cruel. She was blind because that is what random chance actually looks like from the outside. The wheel does not spin against you. It just spins. The suffering, the pattern, the meaning, the certainty that you specifically are cursed, that part is yours. That part your brain assembled from code that is at least 2,500 years old. Built to find patterns in everything because patterns once kept you alive. And unable to accept that terrible things sometimes happen for no reason whatsoever. The next time something goes wrong, you feel the weight of it. Know what that weight is. Know where it came from. Know that a Roman servant felt it too, staring at silver shards on a tile floor. Calculating 7 years, the question is not whether bad luck exists. The question is who built it and whether you're still letting them run the wheel.